Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Bachelor Nation Weekly. Tonight we have special guest Ashley I in studio. Stay tuned right after this.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Yes! I was like, you guys, I'm happy. Adele Hansen sounds selected by the one and only Ashley I.
The ultimate fansin.
Oh my gosh, so funny.
I
love that. You guys, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Bachelor Nation Weekly, where we bring you the hottest topics going on in the Bachelor world. I'm your host, Kristina Zias. You can find me across social media at Miss Zias.
Hey guys, I'm Sterling Cates, and you can find me everywhere at Sterling Cates.
And you guys know me, I'm Christine Alexis, and you can find me all over social media at Christine Bean with 3 E's.
And then Ashley I, thank you so much for coming in.
Of course.
Hey.
My handle is at Ashley _Iaconetti and at Ashley Ico.
Woohoo!
Okay, we gotta ask you. I think you're the only person that I know personally that is so obsessed with Hanson. So what is it?
You know what? Vanessa Grimaldi is also very into Hanson. I remember when I was finally able to address to Nick, like, who his fiance was, like, the day after the finale. I was like, so we're going to be able to hang out soon because we need to really talk about our love for Hanson. We have to bond over this.
Right.
Because I had actually, it was so weird. I came across her love for Hanson before, like, we even met, or even before she was, like, a popular figure on the show. I was going through her Instagram because I had read that she was the winner through Reality Steve because Nick never told us who, like, actually won.
Guilty of looking up spoilers.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So I go and I look up her Instagram and I go deep into her feed.
As
and
one does.
And I saw that she had pictures from a Hanson concert and I was like, stop it. Like, actual pictures from being at a Hanson concert. I was like, I think we're going to get along just fine.
Like, did we just become best friends?
Yeah,
like
pretty much.
stepbrothers? Like,
Yes, but I had to keep that secret for 2 months.
Well, then, did you guys end up becoming good friends?
Right.
I mean, we're friendly. We're friends. I haven't hung out with her like a zillion times, but yeah.
So, I mean...
No, like, yes,
Yeah.
we're friends.
Yeah.
Yes, we're friends.
I mean, I'm sure you guys follow Ashley, and you know she is super involved in Bachelor Nation and, like, doing a million different things. You have 2 podcasts that you host, and
Yeah.
one of them is Almost Famous with Ben.
Yeah.
And you guys just had Nick on, right?
Yes, we just had Nick on 2 weeks ago. It was actually one of my favorite episodes. It was really heartfelt, just really emotional. He let us into his soul a bit.
How do you think that he is dealing with the aftermath of this breakup?
They're both they're doing fine. You know, it's been hard, but breakups suck.
Does she still live in LA?
I believe, I'm having lunch with her in a couple days, but
Okay.
I don't really know what her status is. I know that she's doing something for E right now.
Okay.
And she's going back and forth a lot between LA and Montreal.
Gotcha. Well, that's cool that you're able to stay close with both of them, even though it didn't work out.
It's hard just to balance, like, friendships after breakups. I mean,
Absolutely,
we saw
because
that.
you kind of have to, like, pick one.
Kind of, but also you almost can't.
Yeah,
Because
right.
in this weird world where we see each other all the time, you're just like, I'm sorry that I'm friends with both of you pretty much equally.
Yeah.
You know, not in that case. I'm obviously far closer to Nick. And then with Ben and Lauren, I was pretty close to Ben and Lauren, but now Ben's my co-host, so
Right.
Yeah,
obviously
right.
closer to Ben.
Do you have any tip, now that you've gone through it like twice, do you have any tips for people who might be going through that, like how to navigate when you're friends with both of the people when they split up?
Like just like in real life or in
yeah,
Bachelor
just
world?
well, I'm sure it's like extremely different when you're like on The Bachelor together, but in real life too, I feel like you can probably navigate that the same way.
I feel like the key is just to tell them, like, hey, I'm still going to hang out with your ex. I hope you're okay with
Yeah.
this. As long as you're pretty open with your relationship between the 2 of them, I think it's okay.
Well, honesty is always the best policy.
I also think it probably depends on how the relationship ended.
Yeah.
Like, one person, like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I have a friend that just went through a breakup, but, like, her boyfriend cheated on
Obviously,
her
in
at a
that
wedding,
case,
like,
you can't.
Yeah,
You
like,
can't choose both
Right.
sides.
Right.
For sure.
I think it really depends. But I'm sure in this world it's so difficult because you guys see each other all the time.
Yeah.
And I mean, you've gone through different experiences together, so no matter what, you have that bond, like, regardless of what happens.
Yeah.
And speaking of Nick, I mean, he has some really exciting news. Nick has
crazy.
He got, like, a guest role in Speechless for ABC.
Yeah.
Which is great because I think Nick, even when he was on our show before becoming The Bachelor, he talked about wanting to be an actor. Like, that's what he was doing in LA. So I'm really excited for him to actually see this come into fruition, you know?
Has he been, I mean, you know him better than obviously we do, has he been pursuing acting pretty hardcore since being on The Bachelor or being The Bachelor, like auditioning and all that stuff? Or was this kind of something that they approached him about? You know what I mean?
He's taken some acting classes over the past couple of months.
Okay.
It's definitely been something he's wanted to dabble in. So, yeah, this is really a huge, big role for him. So
Yeah,
he's very excited about it.
Yeah.
He was talking about how much fun it was on set last week. He was on set for a good number of hours too. So
It's just one episode, though, right?
yes,
But it could be a reoccurring role. Who knows?
could be.
Something tells me this is not the last we're gonna see of Nick Viall on a TV show.
I agree.
Just a hunch, you know.
Yeah.
We're gonna see
Yeah.
him a couple more times.
Yeah, and I would say that this role could be reoccurring, and I think that who is it? Minnie Driver. She's a big Bachelor fan, and she's the star of the show. So she was very excited to see Nick there.
That's awesome.
And to be able to work with him. Yeah.
Good for him, seriously. That's awesome.
So we didn't see it this year, but last year there was the after show for Bachelor in Paradise, hosted by Michelle Collins.
Yeah.
And one thing that I really liked about that show was that they had celebrities on who were fans of The Bachelor.
Yeah.
Because it's so funny. Like, I feel like it is everyone's guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
So to see these celebrities kind of like geek out about it is just hilarious to me. Yeah. Was there anyone that you met that you were really surprised was a Bachelor fan?
I think that there is one celebrity who's like an undercover Bachelor fan who listens to the Almost Famous podcast, which like boggles my mind. I know this is like the worst thing you can ever do, but I don't think I can reveal it.
Ashley.
Oh.
Wait, are they that embarrassed to be a Bachelor fan that you can't reveal them? Do you know what I mean?
No, but I'm thinking about the person who told me.
I
And I'm
see.
like, I don't want to like cross any bounds, like to think that they can't tell me anything. But I think the craziest Bachelor fan, it's Sean Penn and Charlize Theron.
Right.
Like, I mean, what in the world?
Wait, I did not know that.
Oh my gosh, you didn't know that?
No.
During my season, Chris Soule's season of The Bachelor, he was on Jimmy Kimmel during the finale.
Sean Penn.
Yes, Sean Penn was on
dying.
and it was like the last couple of weeks of the season, and he was like, oh yeah, this is the time that Charlize and him were still together. And he's like, yeah, we just lie in bed and we talk about Caitlyn, how awesome she is. Like, they're literally invested in the characters. I'm like, Sean Penn knows me by name. This is outrageous.
That's hilarious.
That's
a good
incredible.
one.
And a little known fact, Allison Williams met her husband at a Bachelor viewing party.
That's pretty amazing.
That is amazing.
I imagine that's where I'll meet my future husband.
Yeah.
I just know it'll be right when I meet that person, you know, at a Bachelor party.
Absolutely.
My house, 2 weeks. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So you guys can watch Nick's episode Speechless. It airs in late November. I'm sure he'll be like tweeting up a storm about it. Like
You can follow me. I'm sure I'll be talking about it too. It'll be really exciting.
You know what's funny? Because I'm a big fan of Big Brother, and what Big Brother does is they take a lot of the contestants and put them on CBS shows.
Really?
Like, right away. Like, I mean, a lot of them are, so they go on Bold and the Beautiful.
Oh.
They go on Survivor, and then they go on Amazing Race. Fine, those are other reality competition shows. But I think at least 3 people from this summer's series went on to Bold and the Beautiful.
Wow.
So it's interesting that ABC doesn't do that.
Well, it's interesting that so many people on Big Brother want to be actors.
But I don't even
or
think
good enough to be on-screen actors.
I guess, yeah. But I feel like the Bachelor cast
Well,
can do
Nick's
that
been
too.
on a number of ABC shows. I mean, Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah,
This one.
it's not his first
Bachelor,
rodeo, for
Bachelor
sure.
in Paradise, Bachelorette.
What's interesting is ABC doesn't have a lot of other reality shows. I can't even think of one other than Dancing with the Stars and The Bachelor.
Right.
Yeah.
And then
That's
as
true.
far as entertainment goes,
They can go on General Hospital.
Like a soap or
Well, that's what Bold and the Beautiful is.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah, you're
that's
right.
true.
You're right. And then there you go.
You can go on it.
Okay, I don't know. I guess The Bachelor and Big Brother are like the same in the sense that you get to know the characters so well, like their real true personalities. See, I think that if I were to see somebody in a role outside of who they are as a person, I'd be like, oh no, I'm still thinking of them as so and so.
And in Big Brother, you
that's
definitely
fair.
get to know their personalities even more.
Yeah, so
that's
so it doesn't really make any sense. My theory is incorrect.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of, actors in LA who go that route find trouble trying to go back to serious acting after have been in a reality
yeah.
TV
Right.
role. Like, that's totally a thing.
I
And
never think of reality TV as a place that you go to if you want to be an actor. I mean, if
Right.
you want to be a singer, okay, I guess that
Maybe.
would work. For me, it was like if I want to be a TV host, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then again, don't worry, guys. Didn't do for the wrong reasons. You all know I would pick a husband over a career any day. Anybody who watches The Bachelor knows that's about me.
I don't think I've heard anyone, I can't even think of one person that's like, I want to be an actor. Even this was a little surprising for me, for Nick, when he pursued acting.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe not so much for you. You obviously know him better, but like, are there any other people who are pursuing acting that are coming off The Bachelor, Bachelorette?
I don't think so.
Most of it's like fashion
maybe
stuff,
my
maybe
sister, yeah.
podcasting.
your
Or maybe your
sister is?
sister?
My sister.
Okay,
okay.
well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, I could actually see that. She's
You guys, this is on another note, but you know what I think is screwed up is how few bachelorettes make it to Dancing with the Stars.
Is that weird?
It's
Yeah.
weird because you know they're offered it. So I don't understand where the disconnect is. Like, why does Nick get to do it and Chris get to do it? And
Right.
Caitlyn has very publicly said that, like, the producers wouldn't let her do Dancing with the Stars.
right.
Do you have a theory on it, Ashley?
No, but on the other hand, we see the Bachelorette relationships tend to be more successful.
And maybe
true.
because
Whether
they
or
don't
not
do
that
Dancing with the
is
Stars?
because they don't do Dancing with the Stars, I don't know. But if you go back in time now, just in like the past 6 years, we have Caitlyn and Shine still together, JoJo and
Yeah.
Jordan. Obviously, Rachel and Brian are very fresh.
Right.
Des and Chris are married. Ashley and JP are married. Just like a lot of success.
I still don't get, though. I mean, Nick was still with Vanessa when he went on. Chris was still with Whitney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God, that feels like forever ago. When he went on, I mean, obviously they broke up after.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe because they were focused on their relationship instead of like the next reality gig.
Yeah, I definitely think it can play a role.
Yeah.
But I also think that those couples may not have been destined to be together in the first place.
Yeah. But like Kristina said, I mean, Caitlyn did want to be on it.
Yeah.
And they're obviously in love. I love them so much.
They're just the greatest.
I don't understand.
They're
The
so
greatest.
cute.
Yes.
They really are. When is their wedding going to happen? So we were talking about this last week, and we were kind of like placing bets, not really, but like on who's going to be the next Bachelor couple married. So right now, there's Caitlyn and Sean. There's JoJo and Jordan. There's Rachel and Brian, and Taylor and Derek, right? Mm-hmm. And maybe Raven and Adam, you could say.
Yeah, but they're not engaged.
They're not
right now.
engaged. Okay, so those.
They can't be in the combo rate yet.
Yeah.
Who do you think is going to be the next couple to get married?
Well, I think it's Caitlyn and Sean, but I can't put money on it.
Yeah.
Because like I think they're really happy just like as is, and they're rushing to get married anytime soon. But then it's been 2 years, and I think they would. I still think they would like a TV wedding, and I would love for them to
see
have
it.
a TV
Yeah.
wedding.
Do you think they haven't gotten married yet because ABC hasn't given them a TV wedding?
It might be a factor.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's.
I mean, I think Caitlyn even tweeted about that too.
Yeah, she said like, "Hey, Mike Fleiss," or
When's
something.
my-
When's my wedding?
Yeah.
I really, really would love to be at a Sean and Caitlyn wedding, and
I would love to
for
see
it
a
for that
Sean and
to be-
Caitlyn wedding.
I would love
Yeah.
to be at their wedding too.
Be there.
Just putting that out in the universe if anyone's listening.
I think what Caitlyn has done such a good job with and Sean is that they broadcast so much of their relationship
Yeah.
that you really do feel like you know them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
More
also
so-
like a relationship I want to be in.
Yeah.
I mean, not there specifically, but
I hate to use the term relationship goals, but they truly are.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Out of any of the other couples that you've met, who else would you say?
I
that
love
about?
JoJo and Jordan too. Yeah, I know that I was like pretty vocal coming off their season of The Bachelorette that I didn't feel like a whole lot of butterflies. I was like, I don't know if that's what's gonna work. But after hanging out with them both separately and together, I just think that they're like wonderful, and I really think they are like a forever couple.
I really appreciate hearing that because I felt the same way right after her season.
Yeah.
And it's still kind of hard for me to tell just over social media,
Yeah.
obviously, again, total outsider over here. But I appreciate you saying that you think they get along well and
Yeah.
that sort of stuff, and
Yeah.
it's not just fake. I like all the little
I
home renovations
appreciate-
that they're doing.
Yeah,
They're so cute.
Their dog,
Yeah.
the dog element to all these couples, so cute.
I
Caitlyn
know.
and Sean's dog, adorable. I
Yeah.
mean, that dog's amazing. And then JoJo's dog, they're so cute because like she goes, "You want to go to the park?" and the dog like dances around the room.
So
Just
sweet.
so cute.
Okay, so this is another theory that we've kind of said in here too, is that for some reason we feel like The Bachelor villainizes who the female that the Bachelor chooses to win. Do you know what I mean? So, that the Bachelorette okay.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm getting confused right now. So, for the past couple years, when it's the Bachelorette going on, they villainized Jordan. Yeah. They villainized Brian.
Yeah.
And Sean.
Sean's
maybe
debatable.
not as much.
There was tension between Sean and Nick.
But definitely Jordan and Brian, for sure.
Definitely, yes. I wouldn't call them the season's villains, but they definitely wanted you to feel skeptical about them.
Right.
For
Just
the
to
payoff
set
at
it
the
up.
end.
Yeah.
Right.
And to be fair with Sean, I felt like a lot of America kind of sided with Sean in that. Like, and was happy that he was standing up against Nick because obviously Nick wasn't at that point in time like loved by America necessarily, especially when he came back.
But my thing is that they do this, right? And I guess it's, to have like some suspense for the finale.
Yeah, for sure.
However, it makes you want the Bachelorette to choose the other guy, and then like initially you're not really happy for the couple. Like we definitely saw that for sure with JoJo and Jordan, and this season like people weren't really happy that Rachel chose Brian. And is it part of it because the way he was portrayed? You know what I mean? Like
I think in that scenario specifically, though, I think a lot of that
that people just
unhappiness.
like Peter.
Yeah, I think it was just stemming from that. The other situations I can see where that is, but Peter was just so lovable at that point. It's like you're gonna hate anybody else but him,
Well, the thing was, in preparation of them making Peter the Bachelor, they wanted to make him look so likable, but then they decided not to even do that, which made everybody was like a pump fake. It's like why build him up so much and make us love him so much and then not do that? Still very weird that they did that. But I do think it's funny that they've pretty much villainized Brian because
I don't get it. That's what I'm saying. I don't get it.
Do you think they villainized Brian, or did Brian kind of do a lot of that on his own?
I'm thinking it's a toss-up. I don't know. I don't think we got to know Brian very well.
But I think
to be honest.
that's them doing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because they at the end of the day they have control over the edit.
Right.
You can say, oh well, maybe Brian just didn't say enough things about himself for us to get to know him. But it's like even if he did, how would we know?
Right. That's true. I mean,
Really
it's all
feel
speculation at this point.
Right? Like, we don't know.
Yeah.
Sure, he's like a dope guy at this point.
Yeah, I'm sure he's great. They're very compatible. They seem like they just get along so well.
Yes,
but we all learn to know so much, or so we think, about Peter, and then we're like, oh no, we know Brian as the very intense kisser guy.
Right.
Exactly.
We know him as this Miami Vice sort of guy, who's a player.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think that they treat the guys on The Bachelorette differently than they treat the women on The Bachelor.
I think you may have a point there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
Just my theory. Okay, well, they built up Peter so much, and obviously he wasn't the Bachelor, but they just announced that he will be on the Winter Games.
Yes.
Which still sounds so much like the Hunger Games to me. I'm like, what is going to happen there? I'm kind of scared.
I know, right?
J-Law will make an appearance.
I know. Oh my gosh,
Is she a Bachelor?
She probably is. She talks about how much she loves reality TV.
I know, she loves the
Kardashians. Yeah.
And the Housewives.
Yeah.
She probably watches.
Okay, so finally we're like, okay, what the hell is this Winter Games? Obviously, it's rivaling the Olympics, but we finally learned a little bit more about it this week. So it is going to be multiple countries, and I think they're going to have 10 Americans on, right? They said they'll have someone from Bachelor Japan, Bachelor Australia, Bachelor Canada, and Bachelor UK. So this is an international romance waiting to happen. I'm excited.
That's pretty awesome.
So obviously Peter's going to be on it. He's the only person we know so far. Ashley, if they asked you to do it, would you do it?
I think it sounds fun.
Yeah.
Sure.
So you're competing for love, and then also there's physical competitions as well.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty.
You're
It's like road rules are.
It's gonna be like the challenge, I would assume. Road rules. I don't watch any of those shows, but that's what people keep suggesting to me. They're like, I'm sure it'll be like that.
Yeah, we were kind of mulling over that theory last week too, and I love the challenge and road rules, so I'm excited if it is gonna be in that format. But considering how a lot of the group dates have gone over The Bachelor and Bachelorette that involve physical activities and things that happen, I'm like, oh my god, this is actually going to be really funny and entertaining to see everyone physically compete, because what are winter games exactly?
They're
Are we
gonna bring it back
bobsled?
to, I feel like, Bachelor Pad days. Did you guys watch Bachelor Pad?
I didn't
I
watch
didn't.
Bachelor
I
Pad.
didn't.
No, I
No.
didn't watch it.
But they keep referencing it, so I feel like I do need to go on
it'd be
iTunes and buy an
similar to
episode
that.
of Bachelor Pad.
Look at you, Shama, buy an episode.
I need to do my research. So it'll be interesting to see if they bring back all single people or if they bring back couples as well.
Well, I
That's
think it's rumored
interesting.
that like JoJo and Jordan could make an appearance as like a couple, like,
Right.
a team on there.
Well, I feel like most of the Bachelor contestants are pretty like in shape and athletic, so it could
Yes.
be. Do you consider yourself athletic, Ashley?
Absolutely not.
Okay, so maybe Ashley's the least athletic and still in great shape.
Actually, I feel like you're athletic.
No, I'm not athletic at all. Like, I really need to hit the gym. Like, seriously, you guys, I get winded going up my stairs, and I'm only on the second floor. It's really embarrassing.
So hopefully it's not like an elimination thing based on just athletic ability if you were to do it.
So actually, if there were to be 10 contestants on there from the U.S., who would be your dream American team?
Well, I think that, like, Peter is great because he's going to head the team, I would assume, because he's going to
So he's gonna be the
most
captain?
draw. He's, he's one of the most athletic people.
Okay.
He's a trainer. He owns his own training company. And yeah, he's just going to bring the audience because people are dying to see him. It'll be interesting to see the ratings when they put Peter up against Ari's ratings. They
Yeah.
will be airing, I think, at the same time.
Oh, really?
Well, yeah, there's going to be some crossover because Ari season starts in January and the Winter Games
December.
tentatively
February.
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 Unless they don't air Ari's season, they take the 2 weeks of the Winter Games off of Ari's season, and then they put the 2 weeks of Winter Games in.
That's what I think
Okay.
might happen.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Either way,
Either
it'll be
way, the
interesting.
ratings are comparable.
Right.
Well, possibly. So then I think you need Dean on it to keep like the relevant favorites. So Dean, I could see Kristina being on there. It'd be interesting if you see their romance rekindle or
Right.
break apart. Who else?
Maybe not Danielle then.
No, I don't think Danielle would be there. I think like they would hopefully like either conclude it or conclude it one way or the other.
Right.
And then I think maybe Chase, because Chase has skipped out on Paradise but seems to still be a fan favorite.
That's interesting. Yeah, he hasn't been on it, and he's still very much in the mix.
Yeah. Corinne, maybe.
That'd be. I hope they bring Corinne back.
Mario.
Ooh.
He said he'd be
Oh, I'm
interested.
getting so excited.
It sounds like, I mean, if we're going based off of your all-star cast here, like I'm like, hello,
I'm already watching.
I want to see.
Is it February yet or whenever this is supposed to air?
I think it is going to be really good.
I think that
Yeah,
they definitely need to mix the casts up because I just do not want it to be a second Paradise.
I'm excited to meet the new people from, new for us, from the international.
I am too.
Are
I
you?
really am.
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know
You
if
don't
I'm
care
going
at
to
all.
feel attached to those people.
I'm kind of team fresh faces right now
Okay.
because, like, I feel like a lot of times it feels like, okay, I've watched this person on 5 seasons now. I'm kind of like ready to meet someone new, and so I feel like this could be a good opportunity for that, and not in a full season format. And it's just kind of like a, hey, look, Peter's going against this other really hot guy from like Italy or something. I'm like, I'm down to
all
watch
about
that.
Yeah,
And are their shirts off? 'Cause-
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
and at that
I'm
point,
down.
even if like we don't connect to the international contestants, I think it'll make us love the American ones that much more, seeing them compared to those two, even if some people can't relate.
And if they can like date in between the teams, then
Yeah,
I'll care.
exactly.
Like, for instance, if
Like
if
if
you
Ashley's
were to go
on there,
on and
yes.
you met like a Spanish guy and you guys were dating, I'd care. So you know
Yeah,
what I
I
mean?
guess the intermingling
Right.
relationships
Yeah.
will make you care about the other side
For
if that
sure.
is how they do it.
Right.
So much speculation is how
know.
they do it.
Yeah, because like your whole team can't date each other. Like you
Yeah,
have to
right.
date the other
Especially if there's
team.
only going to be 10 Americans or something like
And
that.
they've probably already dated. I mean,
Right. That's true.
at
They're
this point.
such an incestual, weird family. It's like 1 degree of kiss between each person.
Yeah, that's it.
How do you feel about that? Like, is there like a certain bond that you guys have so you feel comfortable, or is it just kind of that's the way it is? You guys are together a lot. People make out sometimes.
I don't know. I guess like I've been like pretty minimal. Like I only have like 2 people that I would feel like relatively possessive over. Jared and Wells, right? So if someone were to like be dating them, then yeah, I'd probably be like, well, this sucks. I mean, we saw how I acted last year on Paradise because of it.
Right.
But then like if it's like just like a one night make out thing, then I don't think people really feel that weird about it.
Gotcha.
Or if you've kissed Jack Stone, because everyone
Oh,
has.
that's right.
That's a scenario where it's like,
so
okay.
weird to me.
Yeah.
By the way.
I kind of feel like, though, it's not hard to be possessive in that sort of environment because it's just like, okay, say you're dating someone and then your friend wants to date them. You're like, whoa, hold back. But now your friend wants to date them, and also, like, all of America has seen this relationship happen, too.
Yeah.
I feel like it just makes it so much more challenging. And it's probably harder when America's telling you not to be possessive, like you're crazy.
Oh, 100%.
You know?
I'm like, are you joking me? Like, please, I always say this, like, have a camera follow you around in your regular life, and then I want one of your friends to just be like, oh, you know what, I'm sorry, I'm interested in, like, the guy that you just made out with yesterday, and then you're supposed to be like, oh, okay, yeah, you go take on a date with him, have fun. Like, that is absolutely unrealistic.
Definitely.
So then how did you feel about the whole drama that went down this summer in Paradise? I don't know if you can talk about it, but the whole triangle with like Dean, Kristina, and D'Lo, because you're obviously really good friends with Dean, and I'm sure you're friends with Kristina and Danielle as well too. So like, is it hard for you? Do you feel like you have to kind of pick a side in that situation?
No, not at all. I think that Dean knows that we all think that he messed up a little bit. Like, he was insensitive at times, or not really insensitive, but just like kind of unaware of what he was doing. Like, he's just so confused. And
He's like
always
a 26-year-old cute boy who has like, all these hot girls around him. Like,
Yeah.
there was like nothing intentional. There's like nothing. He didn't mean any harm. Obviously, you can say that, but like a lot of emotional harm was done.
Right.
And I always told him, I was like, I'm so team Kristina. Like, I just feel Kristina so much. I kind of feel like we've lived similar storylines on the show. Like, he always knew I had a soft spot for her and their relationship. But, you know, Dean messed up, but I don't think he'll do it again. He definitely learned from his mistakes.
Do you think that Dean still has an opportunity to be the next Bachelor or to be a Bachelor in the future?
I think they're going to keep him around for a while. I would assume they're going to keep him around for a while just because he's such good Bachelor material. Like, I wish you guys knew him in real life. He's just like my little golden retriever. Like, he is just everything. Like, he's the kindest hearted person, and he's so warm, and he'd be the best Bachelor once he grows up a little bit more. So I just think, like, keep him hanging around. Maybe do Winter Games, then maybe like take a year off from Paradise, and then maybe like come back as like a vintage throwback, and then then he could be the next Ari.
Like
someday.
an Ari, yeah, for sure. How do you feel about Ari being the Bachelor?
I think that he's gonna end up being a really good Bachelor, to be honest. I think like we needed a little bit of old school vibe. We needed to throw it back a bit. I think there's a lot of people saying that, oh, hey, it's nice that he doesn't have a social media following, or he's not obsessed with social media. That's not why he's in it. I mean, he'll probably get obsessed with it. Yeah, he probably will. So like, I don't know if that's really a good reason. But I think he's mature. He's always been like articulate and smart. And while I don't think like he's the hottest guy in the world, I think he has a lot of swag and he can be really sexy.
I'm here for it. Like, I'm obviously gonna watch.
I mean, what else are we doing on Monday?
I know.
Come on.
No, I think that The Bachelor, I mean, just Bachelor Nation in general, has some like very exciting things coming up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There's a lot happening.
And it'll be interesting to see how the Winter Games play out too, and if they'll take the next Bachelorette from there or from Ari's season, or maybe there'll be an international Bachelorette. Like, who knows? Like, all the possibilities. Maybe Bachelor Japan's gonna come and take over the next Bachelorette. You never know.
I also don't think Peter being on the Winter Games ruins his chances of being the Bachelor in the future.
That's true.
Oh, no, I don't think so either.
Speaking of Peter, I mean, I know you're really close with Peter and Dean.
Well, I wouldn't call myself really close to Peter. We did hang out the one weekend.
Sorry, I'll take that back. But I guess, yeah, I mean, well, you've spent time with them.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you learned about him that like surprised you while hanging out with him that you wouldn't have expected before you got to know him?
I think it was kind of what I expected to learn about him, which is like that he is more fun and more like lighthearted and like more of like a dude's dude, you know?
Yeah.
Whereas like on the show we see him as like this deep, serious guy
So
who just
brooding.
like takes so brooding. And like in real life I was like, okay, so like you're normal. Like you're not something like walked out of like a romance novel. But at the same time still so nice. He has like a really nice demeanor about him. Just really easy to talk to be honest. You also think, you're like, oh man, he's so handsome. He's intimidating, but he doesn't come across as intimidating. Just like very approachable.
Damn, you just gave me so much confidence for the next time I bump into him. Yeah, right?
He's so approachable. No worries.
All right, I'm on it.
Ashley, I know that you are a lover of rom-coms, right?
Yes. I did a whole podcast this week about it.
Who would you choose from The Bachelor to be the lead in a romantic comedy?
That is such a good question. But now, of course, my mind's on Peter, so I think he's probably the best suited.
The salt and pepper hair.
But who would he be? Would he be...
He'd be the leading man, and then Wells would be like his best friend sidekick. What other guy do I think would be so good as...
We needed an antagonist in this one.
Peter's probably the best. The antagonist? I mean, just because of Nick's roles in the past, I feel like Nick would be like the other guy, but that's just because
right.
Sean used to call him the other guy.
That's hilarious.
It has nothing to do with his actual character in real life.
Who's the female lead?
Yeah. we're missing
Me?
that.
Stupid question, Sterling. Jesus.
Me, Becca, probably. Caitlin would be funny, but she's already attached. I feel like, yeah. Kristina could be.
Some nice casting here. It happened.
There's been a lot of talk now. Obviously, a lot of former Bachelor contestants have their own podcasts now.
Yeah.
Have any of them come to you for advice?
Not really, to be honest. No. But I did have the first one, which is so funny because it debuted in January. And I added a second one, the Almost Famous podcast, in May. And now, let's see. We have me, we have Becca, Dean, Wells,
Olivia.
Ben, Olivia. Is that it?
Caitlin.
Caitlin. There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and Jordan.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
I'm the pioneer, guys.
Yeah,
Is
you
there
are.
anyone that you listen to?
I'm gonna listen to Becca and Dean's because they're in the iHeart family.
True.
We basically record on the same day back to back.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Well, that's fun.
Yeah, it is
Are
fun.
both of yours through iHeart? Or just the
no,
Almost Famous one?
just the Almost Famous
Okay.
one.
How is that working with Ben? At first it was an interesting pairing.
Everybody thought it was an
Hearing about it, I
interesting
was like,
pairing,
"Oh."
and I was like, no, Ben and I get along so well.
No, it makes total sense, guys. But I mean, obviously now it's super successful. And
Yeah,
people are tuning
I
in.
think it makes sense because he's very politically correct. He always says the right thing, and it's not because he's trying so hard. It's that he's genuinely that good of a human being.
Yeah.
And then with me, I guess I bring a little bit more grit and a little bit more I don't give a crap vibe. I'm a little more.
It's a good combo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have the 2 podcasts. What else are you working on right now? Where can people find you? What are you into?
Goodness gracious. Okay, so I actually just filmed a pilot about relationships, but I can't really talk about that yet. And I also freelance at Clever TV. So if you subscribe to Clever on YouTube, then you'll see me pop up as the host every couple times a week.
Nice.
And then I am also Access Hollywood's Bachelor correspondent in season for The Bachelor.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
Are
just
you-
doing the damn thing. Good for
Is
you.
there something you're not doing that you want to list? Are you dating?
Dating.
Yeah. I was gonna say, are you dating anyone? Are you
No,
single?
I think Kristina and I had this conversation at dinner the other night. It's I career-wise have everything going the way I want it to go, but then at the end of the day, I'm not trying to go on a first date and have forced first conversation. I just need God to drop my husband on my lap in the middle of the random day, and then be like, okay, great, now let's date, instead of trying to go find someone to
Gotcha.
date. Does that make sense?
Right. So have you been dating at all, going on dates with people or anything like that, or literally just focusing on your career?
I was good at it for a couple months, and then since July, I haven't gone on a first date. I don't know. I don't care, guys.
When you're
not on,
I do care, but I just hate first dates.
Would you date within the Bachelor family then?
I'm always open to that. I don't.
So, yeah, have you had any success maybe with meeting anybody off of Hinge or any sort of app or anything like that? Or
I was on Hinge for a bit.
Yeah.
I went on a weird Hinge date where the guy actually, he was asking me about what I do, and I was telling him about my podcast, and he was like, well, how the heck do you have that many thousand listeners? And I was like, okay, well, I wasn't sure
Funny
whether or not I
story.
wanted to talk. That's something that I think about going into first dates is do I want to bring up The Bachelor? It's such a huge part of my life now.
Yeah.
And it's not just what a lot of my career is based off of, but also my huge friend group.
Right.
And I'd be eliminating a huge part of my life by not talking about it. And I guess if they look at my Instagram, they might think, like, I don't know what this girl does. So anyway, back to the actual story, blah, 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 blah. The guy is like, oh, really? Well, I watched The Bachelor once, and I was, like, sitting on the couch with my ex-girlfriend, and there was this girl, she claimed to be a virgin on it. Like, that's realistic. Like, obviously she was lying. And I'm like, you're sitting at this bar with the virgin.
Oh my God.
Wait, really?
Yeah, it was so awkward.
And
so
do you know
awkward.
if he was talking about you?
Well, it was either me or Becca.
Also, like,
Because
how
you don't look
rude
that
is
different.
that?
Like, how could he not recognize
Oh,
you?
I know. I don't look much different, but like I guess if he was watching in passing, like
Yeah.
he would remember
Yeah.
the conversation, but not the girl's face.
Did you correct him, or
No,
were you
I
just
didn't
like
bring it up at all. He just kept saying it wasn't just like one thing. He was a total dick. Like I was not into it. You guys, it was a really gross day. He tried to kiss me after like an hour while walking to Taco Bell.
Oh.
He literally
You went to Taco Bell?
Yes. We were at a bar and then
What?
he was all of a sudden like I just started my second drink and he was like, "Let's go to Taco Bell." And I'm like, "Okay, well, I've never denied Taco Bell, but I do think this is a gross move for a first date."
Yes, absolutely.
Well, yes.
Anyway, so he kept saying to me, he kept just concentrating on this virgin talk from the show, and I was like, I'm not getting into this with this guy. I'm really not. He's like, they're all liars on that show. Like they're all just.
For watching it
They're-
once, he has
No,
to like
you don't
very
think he was,
strong
like,
opinions
trolling you
about
a little
it.
bit? I'm not sure.
No, he definitely knew who you were.
He had to have been
For
trolling
sure.
you. There's no way. Who's gonna bring that up like crazy?
He was like,
Like, they were all liars. Like he was so adamant, and
You
I'm
met-
like, no, they're not.
You met
They're
at
decent, good.
wait,
people.
you met on Hinge, right?
Yeah.
And your full name's on Hinge, right?
Yeah, and
okay,
it's
so
attached
he
to my Instagram.
so
he
he
never
knows you.
Googled you.
He
Yeah.
Googled you, and then he found out, and then he told his friends, and his friends were like, "Oh yeah, like she." And they're like, "That's not possible." And he's like, "You're right. She's probably not a virgin." And then like he was asking me the entire
think
night
so?
for sure.
Okay, well, he was.
Absolutely
And I
did.
hate him.
He was kind of
What a jerk.
convincing that he had no idea. Like, I think I referred to something on his Instagram or something on his profile, and he was like, "Oh, how would you know that?" I was like, "Well, because I looked at your profile. Like, I found you on Hinge. You know what I mean?"
Yeah.
And then I was like, "You're telling me that you didn't look at my profile?" And he was like, "No, not at all." And he like was pretty adamant about it. But then again, I sound super naive because when I say it out loud, I'm like, "Holy crap, Ashley."
Plus, we're all just like
are
staring
a
at you, like,
child.
"Come on, Ashley."
Yeah, we
we're
don't
all
have
just
any realization in life.
I mean, I just think that nowadays, like, it's the first thing you do. Do you know what I mean?
I think so.
I think so. I mean, if I was meeting somebody to just, I don't know, buy a lamp, something. If I can look up who you are, I'm gonna look up who you are.
Definitely.
I've actually I've gone on dates where I haven't looked up the guy beforehand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feel like it makes you more excited to get to know them, like,
To be
organically?
honest, I thought that if I looked at this guy's stuff online, I probably wouldn't be very open to him in real life. It was like a setup situation through like an acquaintance. And I was like, if I look him up and like look at multiple pictures, I'll probably turn myself off from him.
I
so I
think
didn't.
that's so fair. My friend texted me yesterday and was like, hey, her boyfriend like has a friend that he wanted to set me up with, and she was like, here's his Instagram, like look at it and see if you want to go. And I literally was just like, I trust your judgment, like I'm down to get coffee or something. I don't want to like stalk this guy because in the past I'm like, no, I don't like when his like hair does this or like, you know what I mean? It's like,
It's
I don't
so
know this
true.
person. He might not even like my, like who am I? You know what I mean?
I know.
Like,
I'm the same person. People are always like, look
true.
at my boyfriend's friend. Like, you like him. And I'm like, I probably won't. And then I look at his
exactly.
Instagram and I'm like, probably not.
yeah. So I agree. It's like definitely keeps you more open.
Yeah.
And then you can decide once you meet them in person if you're into it or not.
Based on the actual
That's fair.
in-person chemistry and vibe and personality.
Right.
Yeah.
Is there anyone in your life that tries to set you up more than anyone else? Like, does Lauren always try to hook you up with people? or
No,
your
Lauren's
parents?
never tried to set me up with anyone. My
Wait,
parents
what
have
about
never
that-
tried to set me up.
The guy on the block.
Oh, yeah. Well, should I tell that
Yeah,
story?
I think you should. It's really funny.
Okay. So my sister, Kristina, and I all live on the same street.
It's crazy.
It is crazy. So there's this guy that looked just like my type, like Mediterranean. You know, you can think of like a Jared Wells sort of look, a little bit more beefy.
But sexier.
Sexier, yeah. So my sister passes him while walking the dog all the time, and then one day she's just like, you know what, I'm gonna go up to him, I'm gonna ask if he's single. And so we live in West Hollywood, so her first question was, she's like, I have to ask, are you gay? And he's like, no. And she's like, do you have a girlfriend? And then he's like, yeah. Are you looking for a boyfriend? And like my sister's like, no, I'm looking for a boyfriend for my sister, and you are so her type. And he's like, well, I'm so sorry, but I have a girlfriend. And they talk a little bit, and my sister like goes upstairs and she's like, I talked to the guy, I talked to you, because she always used to call him like your future husband. She's like, your future husband's outside. And then I was like, well, okay. That sucks that he has a girlfriend. Like, let's break him up, right?
Naturally.
So then walking my dog like a week or so later.
You start doing the dog walk.
No, I do dog walks,
take the
but
dog out.
I never end up seeing him on my dog walks. So I see the guy, and he's sitting next to like presumably his girlfriend. So I walk closer, pass by his girlfriend, who we also knew lived on our street, is Emmanuelle Shrieky.
Who was like, she was on.
Who is Sloan from Entourage.
Got it.
Yeah, so
Casual.
he's very
Still trying to
taken.
break them up or what?
No, he's taken by a girl that so many guys call their celebrity crush. So,
Yeah.
anyway,
Well,
that's how
you
how
were
it
too.
goes.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I guess first and last time Lauren tried hooking you up.
Yeah, that's about it.
So Ashley, you're obviously so immersed in the Bachelor world, but we want to make sure that you actually know
Oh, fun
these
game?
contestants really well. So Sterling,
Yes.
take it off. Let's see how well Ashley actually knows her former Bachelor.
Yes.
castmates.
So we just have a few things pulled from the Bachelor bios that.
Right.
After doing this game, I've realized that, obviously back in the day, they didn't really have them as much as they have now. They're kind of hard to come by, but don't worry, I got it, guys. Okay, so who said their biggest date fear was having indigestion? A, Dean, B, Jared, C, Wells, or D, Ben?
Ben. I was gonna say Ben without the options, but
That's
I'm
right.
pretty sure he said
That's right.
explosive diarrhea.
I said in having indigestion.
Oh, okay, that's Ben.
So similarly, who said their biggest date fear was having stomach issues and clogging up a toilet a la Dumb and Dumber? A, Caitlin, B, Britt, C, Carly, or D, Becca?
Caitlin.
Wrong. It was Becca.
Oh, shoot.
Are you keeping score? Christine?
I am.
Okay, cool. Who said if they could choose, they would be Barack Obama for a day?
Me.
A, Nick, not Christine. A, Nick, B, Jared, C, Chase, or D, Robbie?
What in the world?
Nick, Jared,
Nick?
Chase, or Robbie?
Nick, Jared, Chase, or Robbie? Gonna go with Robbie.
Wrong.
Chase?
Jared.
Wait a second. That's in his Bachelor bio?
It said I'd be Barack Obama so he could see what it's like to be president.
That was his Bachelor bio?
Yeah.
Like, I know that that's something that he'd want in real life. Like, I know that that's something he'd be into, but I did not think that he'd write that on his Bachelor bio. Like, for Jared, I think he'd say Superman.
Well, that's fair, but that's what it said
Okay,
on the
interesting.
interwebs. I wasn't going to second guess it. Okay. Who said she wants to buy an island and make it into a land of pirates and it would be called Yarland? Ashley S., Kelsey, Caitlin, or Whitney?
Sounds like Caitlin.
That's correct.
Okay, thank goodness.
Who has the word righteous tattooed on their inner lip?
That's Dean.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm so shocked by that every time I use it. Okay. When asked what food they dislike, who said, I don't love pizza. I know
That's
that's
Wells.
weird. Okay. That's Wells. That's correct.
Wait, what's the rest of the question?
I don't love pizza. I know that's weird, but it's true.
We agree on that. I like pizza very much. I never crave it. I'd never be like, that's what I want tonight.
Wow.
Yeah.
Shocking. Okay. And what's the score?
4-2.
Okay, so that was it, but I had a bonus round, but she won.
I mean, for kicks.
I wanna hear
Yeah,
them.
you definitely
Okay,
won.
so one more. When asked which animal they would be, who said they would be a cheetah because they're strong and fierce? Amanda, Carly, Becca, or Corinne?
A cheetah because they're strong and fierce. Carly, Becca,
Amanda, or Corinne?
Corinne.
That's right.
All right.
Thank goodness.
goodness.
Corinne will be on my I Don't Get It podcast this week, so make sure to turn in.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right, so everyone, it's on Tuesdays, right? I Don't Get It podcast.
I Don't Get It podcast comes out on Mondays. Tuesday or Wednesday is when the Almost Famous podcast comes
So
out.
Corinne's going to be on the I Don't Get It podcast.
Yes, as of next Monday.
Okay, and then I know we briefly talked about it, but like, where can everyone follow you? Like, what are you working on right now that they can see?
Well, please follow Clever News, and then definitely subscribe to the I Don't Get It podcast and the Almost Famous podcast. I would love you forever.
You guys, thank you so much for coming in. Like, we love having you here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Christine, where can everyone find you?
You guys can find me all over social media at Christine Bean with 3 E's.
And Sterling?
And y'all can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Sterling Cates.
And you guys can follow me across social media at Miss Zias. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Bachelor Nation Weekly. We'll see you guys next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Keven Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.